guys, it's Simon and welcome back to Lively Films. We've got our review of Atomic Blonde and we'll be showing you not one, but two trailers for films that are released this week. First though, here's the trailer for Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde is Universal's breakneck action thriller starring Charlize Theron and James McAvoy. The film follows Theron as Agent Lorraine Broughton as MI6's most lethal assassin for a ticking time bomb of a city simmering with revolution and double-crossing of hives of traitors. After an MI6 agent is killed in Berlin, Broughton is sent to recover a priceless list of all undercover agents out of the destabilised city that threatens to extend the Cold War. When Broughton arrives in Berlin, she teams up with her crooked main contact David Percival to recover the list and take out a double agent called Satchel, who is leaking intelligence to the Soviets. With the collapse of the Berlin Wall imminent, Broughton must navigate her way through the deadliest game of spies at a time where Berlin is at its most vulnerable. Directed by David Leitch and based on the novel The Coldest City, Atomic Blonde looks set to be one of the most badass movies of the summer. But is it? I'll get to that later. Firstly though, I have to say how much I love the story and the fact it was set against the backdrop of the collapse of the Berlin Wall. I loved how edgy and grimy East Berlin was shown to be, and the production value of Berlin in the 80s was amazing. I think if you've ever been to Berlin and know about the importance of the wall and what it signified, then you'll really appreciate what Leitch has done and how he's brought it to life. I also love the 80s soundtrack, and the action combat scenes are the best I've seen in years. The fight scene in the stairwell is genuinely brutal and breathtaking. The performances are all great too. Theron is so badass it's ridiculous, and some of her combat scenes are unbelievable to watch. I'm also a huge fan of James McAvoy, and it was good to see him take on a dodgy, corrupt and brutal character like Percival and absolutely smash it, much like he did with a similar character in Filth a few years ago. There's also a great supporting cast in Eddie Marsan, Sophia Boutella, Toby Jones and John Goodman. So, it's stylishly shot, fast-paced and brutal. So it's just what you want, right? Nah, not really. I hate to say it, but as good as the action scenes are, and they really are good, Atomic Blonde is totally let down by the pace of the rest of the film and the continual back and forth storyline. It's so frustrating because the action scenes do so well to build the momentum and keep you hooked, and then the next thing you know, you're back into the boring interrogation room, watching Theron light another cigarette as they literally explain to you what's going on and what's about to happen. To me, it totally let the film down and ended up having some kind of embarrassing good cop, bad cop vibe to it, which it really didn't need. I always think back to The Dark Knight when watching interrogation scenes. When Batman is interrogating the Joker, you are hooked. There's no jokes, no cutaways, or anything other than the intensity of the scene, and you end up being completely hooked on what both of them are saying. And I just felt that the scenes in Atomic Blonde that were there to break up the action and to tell the story were executed so poorly. Honestly, if the entire film had the same pace and excitement throughout, especially towards the end, then this would probably have been one of the best films of the year. But like I said, it really struggles to get back to that intensity and ends up relying on the twists at the end, rather than subtly dropping them in. What to make of it then? It was great to see Charlize Theron smashing it. She's an absolute boss of a character, and I loved the Cold War backdrop, but I think the film was too inconsistent with the pace and the energy of the film. I'm giving Atomic Blonde 3 out of 5 stars. Now, I've got some sad news for you guys. I'm not going to be here next week as I'm on holiday, but before you start questioning how your life will continue, I've sorted you out with 2 films that are released this week. So here's the first trailer. This is American Made.
We need you to deliver stuff for us.
Oh, this is legal?
If you're doing it for the good guys.
Barry Seal's a goddamn genius!
American Made tells the story of pilot Barry Seal, who's recruited by the CIA and ends up working as a drug smuggler for the Medellin cartel in the 1980s. The film stars Tom Cruise as Barry Seal and is directed by the Bourne franchise director Doug Liman. American Made is released this Friday by Universal Pictures. And finally, moving on to a movie I'm very excited about, Detroit. Here's the trailer.
They're destroying the city.
Police! I'm just gonna assume you're all criminals.
Detroit is based on the 1967 Algiers motel incident where 3 black teenagers were beaten and killed by the police during the racially charged 12th Street riots. Directed by Catherine Bigelow and starring John Boyega, Will Poulter, Algie Smith, Jason Mitchell, Jacob Latimore and Hannah Murray, Detroit tackles the issue of racism in the US police force and commemorates the 50th anniversary of the event. So there we go guys, 2 films that I recommend watching this weekend, and if you do go see them, let us know what you think on Twitter @LivelyTV and we'll retweet your thoughts. Thanks so much to everyone who is already liking and commenting on our YouTube channel, it's massively appreciated. Especially Bending Backs, who's recommended Power to me to watch on Netflix. I'll definitely be watching that on my holiday, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for all of our shows here at Lively. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you soon. See ya.